Right now, the Mavic 4 Pro sits at the top of that lineage, genuinely one of the most capable consumer drones ever built. And yet, somewhere in DJI's registration systems, in patent filings most people will never read, a new name has quietly begun to surface: the Mavic 5 Pro. Let's be completely honest from the start. There's no launch date circled on any calendar. The DJI Mavic 5 Pro isn't even confirmed to exist in any concrete form yet. So today, we're not promising you a release. We're showing you a future, the true future, built from real signals rather than wishful thinking. Let's go. Let's start with what's actually documented, because that's vanishingly little, and that's an important part of this story, not a footnote. The name Mavic 5 has begun surfacing in DJI's internal registration records. That's genuinely the extent of the hard evidence. It hasn't passed FCC approval. There's no leaked prototype photo circulating. There's no credible insider posting detailed specifications. For a company whose product pipeline is normally tracked down to individual component leaks months in advance, that level of silence around the Mavic 5 actually tells its own story, and we'll get to exactly what that story is in a moment. So what can we reasonably extrapolate rather than fabricate? Look at the pattern the Mavic 4 Pro established. It introduced a genuinely advanced triple camera system, paired with significant gains in dynamic range and low light sensitivity over its predecessor. If DJI Mavic follows its own historical trajectory, and there's no reason yet to think they won't, a Mavic 5 Pro would logically push that imaging system further, potentially deeper sensor stacking for faster readout, expanded dynamic range, pushing toward the territory currently occupied by DJI's larger cinema-focused gimbal cameras, and continued refinement of the omnidirectional obstacle avoidance system that's become the backbone of every modern Mavic. Transmission technology is a safer bet for extrapolation, simply because DJI's O-series evolution has been remarkably consistent, each generation extending range, reducing latency, and improving resilience in interference-heavy environments. Whatever comes after O4 will almost certainly carry the Mavic 5 Pro's signal, the same way it's carried every recent DJI flagship before it. Flight time and battery efficiency improvements are also a reasonable, low-risk prediction. DJI has steadily, incrementally extended endurance across nearly every product generation for years, and there's no obvious reason that trend would suddenly reverse. But here's the honest caveat that has to sit at the center of this entire section. Everything beyond those broad directional trends is genuine speculation, not leaked information. Anyone presenting detailed megapixel counts or specific sensor sizes for the Mavic 5 Pro right now is, at best, guessing creatively. At worst, they're inventing content for clicks, exactly the kind of fabricated rumor cycle that's plagued other long-awaited camera announcements across the industry. Why does a name in a registration database not translate into an imminent launch? Because the Mavic 5 Pro is facing genuine structural headwinds that have nothing to do with engineering capability. The first challenge is simply timing logic. The Mavic 4 Pro is still DJI's current flagship, recently established, and still actively selling extremely well. Releasing a successor too quickly would undercut a product DJI has every incentive to keep selling at full margin for as long as possible. Industry analysts tracking DJI's release cadence consistently point toward a Mavic 5 arriving no earlier than 2027, more likely 2028, a full product generation away from where we stand today. The second challenge is far more serious, and it's reshaping DJI's entire global strategy: the regulatory situation in the United States. DJI now sits on the FCC's covered list, meaning new DJI products require special review before they can legally enter the American market. Several of DJI's 2026 releases, including the Air 4, have already missed their expected FCC filing windows entirely, with industry trackers noting the deadline passed us and with no submission at all. Whatever the Mavic 5 Pro eventually becomes, it will be born directly into this same regulatory reality, and there's no indication that situation will be meaningfully different even a few years from now. The third challenge is internal. DJI's own attention is genuinely scattered across an unusually large number of simultaneous product lines right now. the Avatar 360, the mysterious Lito X1, Pocket 4 Pro refinement. A company can only push so many genuinely ambitious flagship efforts forward at once, and the Mavic 5 Pro is competing for engineering bandwidth against an entire roster of products that all have more immediate, more pressing business cases. To understand where the Mavic 5 Pro genuinely sits, you have to understand what DJI is actually doing with its time right now, and it's a remarkably busy moment for the company. 2025 was, by every meaningful measure, the year of the flagship, headlined by the Mavic 4 Pro's launch. But 2026 has shifted dramatically towards specialization and category expansion rather than flagship iteration. The Avatar 360 has already cleared FCC approval, blending FPV agility with genuine 360-degree capture in a way that's creating an entirely new product category rather than refining an old one. And the enigmatic Lito X1, a name that doesn't map cleanly onto any existing DJI product family, suggests the company is actively experimenting with form factors that don't fit neatly into Mini, Air or Mavic at all. Meanwhile, DJI's relationship with the US market has become genuinely complicated in ways that extend far beyond any single product. The company's broader American availability has narrowed considerably throughout 2026, with several confirmed products simply blocked from US sale entirely. In that context, the Mavic 5 Pro isn't being neglected. It's being deliberately deprioritized, while DJI focuses its visible energy on shorter-term category expansion and on navigating a regulatory landscape that's reshaping where and how the company can even sell its existing products. Let's talk honestly about numbers and timing, because the picture here is genuinely sparse. On release timing, virtually every credible industry source converges on the same conclusion. A Mavic 5 in any form is realistically a 2027 or 2028 product, not a 2026 one. The Mavic 4 Pro is too fresh, too successful, and too central to DJI's current flagship strategy for a true successor to make commercial sense any sooner. On pricing, with no confirmed specifications to anchor a real estimate, the only responsible approach is looking at historical Mavic flagship positioning. The Mavic 4 Pro itself launched at a premium price point, reflecting its triple camera system and professional-grade imaging capabilities. Whatever the Mavic 5 Pro eventually becomes will almost certainly continue that premium positioning. And for American viewers specifically, given the current regulatory trajectory, there's a real possibility that whenever the Mavic 5 Pro does eventually exist, US availability could be anything but guaranteed, a reality that's already affecting several of DJI's 2026 releases right now. The true future of the Mavic line isn't a spec sheet. It's not even really a date on a calendar yet. It's the simple, durable fact that somewhere inside DJI's long-term planning, the dream that started with the very first Mavic, putting an impossible perspective directly into your hands, is still being actively engineered towards something bigger. The DJI Mavic 5 Pro exists today only as a name in a registration database and a pattern in a company's history. But patterns, especially DJI's, have a way of eventually becoming products. Subscribe so you're the first to know the moment real evidence surfaces. Thanks for watching.